Hi cohort! I thought I would post some videos of some of the stat homework problems in case anyone would find them helpful. So thanks Carissa for showing me how to use Camtasia. We'll see if I can remember how to post this when we're done. The problem I thought we'd take a look at is number 22 from the homework. So here it is. If we take a look at it, it says that 15 years ago they did a survey of undergraduate students, and they found that at that time students smoked an average of 8.3 cigarettes a day. So they're curious if behavior has changed over the years. So more recently they took a survey of 100 students, and that's where this blue box is by accident. And they found that a sample mean of 4.6 cigarettes, a standard deviation of 3.2, and it was based on a survey of 100 students. Now you might say at first glance, well, of course cigarette smoking has gone down. It was only 4.6 and it used to be 8.3. The difference is that the 8.3 figure was a population mean. That's what they thought all students did. They haven't surveyed all the students. They've only surveyed 100 students this year. And of that sample, only 4.6 was the average. And so the question is, does that sample give us evidence that the entire population behavior has changed? Because they don't have the time or the resources to survey every student. Since this is a claim about a mean, we're going to run a t-test. The first thing I want to really recommend is that you get yourself a TI-83 or 84 calculator. If you don't have one, I'd be happy to lend you one. I have probably about 15 or so in a box. I can probably lend that for this semester. What I did is on my laptop, I downloaded one from the internet on a site called WVCMathVideos. And so let me just show you what the calculator can do. Okay, so a calculator can run all your statistical tests for you. This idea of using tables and stuff for statistics is something that most people don't use anymore. I mean, I probably haven't used a table in my classes in probably a good 10 years. Not that now since calculators are so easy to use. So let me just show you how easy it is to do on a calculator. So I'll turn the calculator on, and I'm going to come here to statistics. And see up here where it says tests? This calculator will run every test that we're going to do in our class, and any test you might possibly need for small data sets for any research you do. The second option right here is t-test, and that's where we're going to go. Now the calculator is wondering, do you have data? Do you have a list of 100 numbers? Or do you have statistics, meaningless, of meaningless deviation? We have statistics, so we'll highlight that. The calculator now asks you to put in a few things. This here stands for the number in your null hypothesis, so we should go write our null hypothesis in a moment. This one here stands for your sample mean, your sample standard deviation, and the final one here is your sample size. So I'm going to come and open up a Word document because I haven't figured out how to use the writing instrument on my tablet PC. So the first thing I have to do is I have to write a null hypothesis. So my null hypothesis is that things have not changed. In other words, the mean is still 8.3. The sign in a null hypothesis is always an equal sign. My alternative, I think the mean has gone down, so I think the mean is now less than 8.3. Alright, so I have my null hypothesis and I have my alternative hypothesis. So now what I'm going to do is in my calculator, where it says this, I'm going to write the number in my null hypothesis. I'm going to put in 8.3. This is asking me for the sample mean. So if I go back to the problem number 22, the sample mean I think is 4.6. I'm going to put in 4.6. Now it's asking me for the standard deviation, which is 3.2. So I'm going to put in 3.2. Now we have to write in the sample size. There we go. Now this next line is asking you, in your alternative hypothesis, which of these signs did you see? So if I go back to where I wrote my alternative hypothesis, I wanted to test if the mean was less than 8.3. So I see a sign like this. So I'm going to make sure I highlight that one. And I can either choose to calculate or draw. I always like to draw, and I'll show you why. But it's really up to you. If I do draw, what my calculator will do is it'll sketch the symmetric distribution for me. And it'll tell me my test statistic and p-value. Excuse me. I have a test statistic of -11. That's highly weird. Anything above a 2 is very unusual. My p-value tells me how unusual. The probability that I could get a sample that I did if my mean was right here at 8.3 is 0. In other words, it's impossible. There's no way the mean hasn't gone down. So now I'm going to go ahead and write my conclusion. So for my conclusion, I know I'm going to reject my null hypothesis. And what does that mean in plain English? Evidence suggests that the mean has decreased. In other words, I have evidence that students now are smoking less than they did 15 years ago. So that's how you do a statistical test using technology. It's really easy. You don't have to use tables. You don't have to do square roots. You don't have to do tedious calculations. You don't have to look up alphas and alpha over 5s or anything like that. You can just enter your data into a calculator. Calculator will give you your test statistic right here. It'll give you your p-value. And based on those two things, you can make a conclusion about the strength of your evidence. Anyhow, I hope that helps. I'm going to try to post this and I'll send you a link. I'm going to be out of town giving a workshop for the next couple of days, but if it's helpful, I can do some more homework videos if you'd like. And you can always just email me a question and we can Skype or converse via email about any of the homework that you'd like. Okay, so good luck with your homework, and I'll try to post a few more next week when I get back. And thanks, Carissa. I hope this Fantasia recording comes out okay.